welcome everybody to another week here in the LOC. And we got some draft previews on the menu. And, I think we've turned a corner here, solved some of our issues, and let's have a good conference this time around, Sean.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that one. No more technical difficulties.
Right on. So today on the menu in the LOC, it's a guy entering his fourth year. And, when you're entering your fourth year in the LOC, you would think, okay, your team's got to be kind of built together by that point. You get the 1 year grace. It's Brandon and the architect, one of your competitors in the American division.
Yeah, I mean Brendan's a good owner. He does like to every once in a while take that flyer that wasn't drafted and somehow it always pays off for him though. I don't know what his secret is.
Yeah, so you can see his career record there, 19 and 20, one game below 500. I'm sure he probably is feeling like he could do a heck of a lot better. 487 win percentage. That's 14th all time in the LOC. 3 years to develop a win percentage. I think it gives an accurate representation of who the owner's done. But definitely one division title, and he's going to be looking to try to get another one on the board this season.
Yeah, I mean, I believe last year, I think the first like 4 or 5 games he played, he scored was either second or third in scoring, and he just happened to keep playing the person who was number one in the for the week in scoring. I mean, he had bad luck last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he had a tough schedule, and it definitely hit him hard in the beginning. I think he got hit with three other powerhouse teams, and unfortunately, like you said, came on the wrong end of those. Those teams had the best weeks that they could ever had, and it was lights out for Brandon, and it was fire sale season after that.
For sure, and yeah, as you said, his best place finish was 18th place in 2019. If he would have, had better matchups last year, he probably would have finished in top. He probably would have replaced me or Josh in the division. He probably would have made the playoffs. Finished fifth or sixth.
Well, we say Brandon's a good owner, but if you look here, last year, 17th place, that means he didn't even make the consolation playoffs. And then best finish, eighth place. That means he made the playoffs once and he was one and done. Why are we talking about Brandon being one of these all time owners? He hasn't proven anything yet, and it's going to be up to him to prove it this year.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I think he's going to prove us right. I think we see his potential as an owner, and I think he might prove us right. Even though I know last year we kind of talked and joked about how he was going to win the league. But honestly, I'm not that impressed with his picks when we get there.
Right on.
And starting off his schedule, I mean, just like last year, he starts out playing me. He's 2-3 against me, and then he plays Life's a Mitch in week 4. He plays you in week 7. Templars, which probably would be an easy win again for him. He's gonna be 3-0 against Templars in week 8, and then he's got to play Deuce Bombers and your brother. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I mean, all these matchups are gonna be pretty hard for him. I mean, he's gonna have to. They're gonna be battles. It might be again like last year. He might playing teams who are hitting their stride. He might score the third most points, but he might lose again. I mean, his schedule is not that easy for him.
Yeah, but Brandon can't complain because the thing is, when you look at his schedule, it is strength of scheduling for him. I mean, True North was a bad team last year. Templars, Ultimus Prime, of course, was Ellie Island. And
Mm-hmm.
then he's played all his divisional opponents. Storm wasn't that great. I know Sue's wasn't that great. Brian, my brother, wasn't that great. So he really has no excuses. This is his year. The only team on there that really was any good was me, the defending champion. So, and obviously you and everybody else in the American division. So, and Subotica Spartans. But Brandon, I think, has a winnable schedule. I think he should be able to cruise into the playoffs when I look at that schedule based on last year's performance of those teams.
Yeah, I mean, you have a point there. I mean, I think after week 5 or going into week 5, his schedule is going to be pretty easy. But I mean, he plays me week 1, he plays Spartans week 2, the 6 week 3, Life's a Mitch week 4. I mean, I think he has a pretty hard, first 4 weeks where he could be 1-3 and he might be looking to sell again.
Essentially, and I also look, he almost has like a losing record against every single team in that schedule. So let's not forget about that.
That's very true. Yeah,
So
next up.
here's And I think you're right. This is where you were going with. You're not all that impressed, and we've heard Brandon, trying to say, "Oh, Blake Jarwin this, Blake Jarwin that." Well, we know why now. He's a keeper, and the other thing I look at when I look at his keepers here, IDP Derwin James. How many games has that guy played in the last 2 years? One.
Something like
I
that.
mean, it's a lot of question marks there.
Yeah, I mean Kyler Murray. I mean he's a decent quarterback. I don't know if he's a top tier quarterback. Saquon Barkley injured last year. Tyreek Cohen injured last year. Chris Godwin. I mean I don't think he played a full season in the last couple of years. Blake Garwin injured last year. Darwin James injured last year. I mean he's running an IR team, keeper team right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's clear why he's doing this. I think, let's be honest, though, Kyler Murray, I think, is going to have a big year. JJ Watt didn't go there to just, hang out. I think Barkley does bounce back for him. And I think Godwin is a solid receiver. I think the other three keepers are definitely question marks, though. But as we could see coming up here, Brandon could have the ammo to try to improve on that.
Sure, for sure. I mean, he has the fourth overall pick. He's probably going to either get at least a decent wide receiver or running back, and he hopes for a running back. And generally, I mean, he has two round twos, no round three, and he picks twice in fourth and fifth. He has seven. I mean, he has 3 picks in the 7th round. Again, 2 more picks in 8th and 9th. So I mean, he has the draft capital in the top 10 rounds to make a good pick, but in my opinion, where he succeeds is picking up those players who aren't drafted and they actually come out be studs for him.
I mean, I was actually when I was thinking about Brandon's team, I was like he's got all these picks. He's got all these picks. He's got 16 in the first 10 rounds. We've seen teams have more than that. So it's not that he doesn't have a ton of picks. He does, but it's not like he's for sure the guy who's going to win it all just because he has 16 and 10. Obviously, he's got to get it right at that 4th pick because he does only have 2 round twos. One of them is a late round 2 and then no round 3. So, obviously he's going to probably score a lot of good defensive players, maybe a lot of depth there in the mid rounds. But, anybody can beat anybody still in the LOC, and I think Brandon's still beatable looking at this.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He's probably going to go IDPs middle round. As we talked about, previous videos, picking IDPs in those rounds. I mean, it's still a crapshoot. Trying to get the best IDPs, unless you're getting home run hitters. It's still a crapshoot, though.
Here's where I was like, well, wait a minute, though. Brandon, this is where he's just like, what? Like, you're done pretty much by round 14. Look at those round 11s. 5 in round 11. And then that's when I was like, okay, no, Brandon's back on the map. Like, he's definitely has a chance to win it all. When you're done by round 14, looking at this situation, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, that he's going to be looking for those high risk, high reward players for offensive players for his depth. He's going to be looking for those IDPs who the rookies might pick some rookie IDPs. He might pick some players who were injured last year. But I mean, you're picking around 11. You're hoping for some injuries for your offensive players. Your IDPs, can be hit or miss. It's going to be tough for him, honestly. I mean, is it worth getting all these picks where you're picking 5 picks in around 11? But I still might get better players around 21 versus players he's picking around 11. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He could literally you could trade me 3 round 11s for somebody, Brandon, and I'll give you a better keeper than Treecon or Blake Jarwin. Just throwing that out there. Yeah. And you'd still be picking those picks, man. So I think it's going to be hard to beat Brandon. I think the only thing that could stop him is potentially a lot of injuries to the roster. And of course, Drew Sigs as keepers. But I think this is a year for Brandon to make the playoffs easily and to maybe be a potential champion for this year.
Yeah. I mean, he has the draft capital to do it, but he just got to hit on those picks.
It'll be fun for him, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish I had those picks. I'm not gonna lie though, like I'm a little jealous.
I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit on those picks.
So he says. So he says. Let's switch over to Dynasty and talk about the still rebuilding Life's a Mitch. Last year he finished 3-10. He's 7-19 in the LOC. So that means he was 4-10. You know, 4-9 last year. He still hasn't had a winning season. He's .269 all time life all time in the 2 seasons for the Dynasty. And I think this shows why. I mean, his starting quarterback is Newton. He only has one. Honestly, let's just be honest here. He only has one good running back. Um, he's his wide receivers are okay. His tight ends are Jasicki. He has the Bosa brothers, but his D backs are horrible. So it looks like we lost the commish there. So I'm just gonna kind of keep going on this one. So yeah, I mean, like I said, his quarterback is Newton. He only has Swift. His wide receiver core is pretty decent. It's not too bad there. He's got Jasicki. He has the Bosa brothers. I mean, he has Jalen Brown, Chubbs, Hassan Reddick. I mean, he has decent linebacker core there, but I mean, he still needs to make improvements. And if you look at his draft capital, he has the first overall pick. He picks first in every round. And honestly, in my opinion, I think he needs to start making some trades. I mean, can you move your second round pick, or maybe can you move the first overall pick to pick up a few more picks? Because his team's honestly, it is in a rebuilding year. I don't think it is solid. I don't think it's ready to go and get to challenge anybody in the division. Honestly, there, I think he needs to. It's going to be at least 2-3 years before he's ready to challenge.
Joshua, I got running backs for you. Trade some of that wide receiver capital. Diversify your lineup. You're obviously going Lawrence number one, but you need to improve right now, man. Sean's right. Your team sucks, and if you keep going like this, you're gonna suck for another 3 years. So I got running backs for you. Let's make a deal.
Sounds good. And well, I got everybody for this week, and we'll be back again next week, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And Commissioner, do you want to preview who we're going to be talking about next week?
I don't have it in front of me, actually. I'm going to be honest, but I'll put a chat out on the general chat who it'll be. I screwed up on Dynasty if you guys didn't notice, because I forgot that consolation rounds didn't work. So Joshua was the true 15th place team last year, but he won the draft lottery, obviously. But I'll put it all out on chat for you guys, and looking forward to seeing you all again next week.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you guys later.